Good morning and welcome. You're on to Aspheric TV and this is the morning newspaper briefing. My name is Dabaru Gifts. This is the program where we bring you front pages of Nigerian dailies and we get to discuss the issues that these newspapers raised later in the program with my invited guests. I'm going to start off with the Punch newspaper. It says here, IU must go. PDP calls emergency meeting over governors, others gang up. As Wike, Makinde, Fayoshe, George, Ghana, others pull out of presidential campaign. Southern PDP bloc says Atiku failed to honor London agreement with Rivers governor's camp. I cannot decide IU's fate. Ex-Vice President replies, aggrieved campaign council members. UNGA, Buhari promises credible polls, seeks debt forgiveness. Fraudsters hack bank, transfer 523 million naira to 225 accounts. No post-conviction bail for Baba Ijesha, court rules. Hoodlums raid Ogun communities, kill 3, police investigates. ASU to appeal ruling, parents want strike ended. Senate confirms Ariwola new CJN gets agenda. Court sets aside $47 million Paris Club payments judgments. The Guardian newspaper, it says here 2023, Wike's scam wounds, snobs Atiku's campaign. Atiku, I can't force IU to resign. Bode George reiterates position on Southern chairmanship. Crisis will soon be over, BOT chairman assures. Oyo PDP Southwest Forum back Wike, Makinde. Wike's demand noble, says APC chieftain. Supreme Court justices didn't write petition against Tanko, Ariwola clarifies. Fresh trouble for Ekweremadu as Enugu lawyer seeks declaration of seat vacant. Denying Kanu access to treatment is plot to kill him, says group. Banks tinker with FX sale templates, set new operating rules. ASU false court ruling proceeds on appeal as lawyers seek compliance. Bandits kill 5, kidnap 8 in Niger. The Vanguard newspaper says, why court ordered ASU to call off 7-month-long strike? ASU to appeal court order on resumption today. It's a win-win situation, NANS. Everybody's tired of strike, parents. FG declares no victor, no vanquished. To order VCs to reopen varsities adds it's within ASU's rights to appeal. Also, PDP crisis, I can't force IU to resign, Atiku insists. Obi's manifesto to be released before campaign, Utomi. And saboteurs in Buhari's government, says Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello. Buhari at UNGA seeks debt cancellation. The This Day newspaper says, in last address to UNGA, Buhari recommits to credible 2023 polls. Says Nigeria championing democracy, rule of law in West Africa. Reiterates adherence to constitutional term limits. Canvasses debt cancellation for developing nations. Calls for structural change in UN. Also, PDP crisis deepens as Wike loyalists pull out of Atiku's campaign. The Nation newspaper, it says here, PDP quakes as Wike's group opts out of Atiku's campaign. Camp insists IU must quit. Chairman won't be forced out, says Atiku. 95.4 million liters crude oil stolen daily, says government. Nigeria, US, Germany, others still packed on food security. Senate confirms Ariwola as Chief Justice of Nigeria. Dignities greet Remi Tinubu at 62. Court order won't stop negotiation with ASU, says Ngige. VCs to reopen varsities soon. Appeal not ruled out, say lecturers. Lastly, we have the Daily Trust newspaper, and it says, Atiku to Wike's camp. Retrace your steps. We won't participate in campaign under Ayu, River Governor's camp. Solution coming, BOT chair. Also, crisis will benefit APC, others, analysts. ASU rejects court order for resumption, vows to appeal ruling. Shekarau remains NMPP's candidate for Kano Central, INEC. Buhari at UN, I'm leaving legacy of credible elections in Nigeria. Flood destroys 14,496 farmlands in 5 Kano local governments, NEMA. Ariwola confirmed CJN, says Supreme Court short of 8 justices. 29 die as Edo records 225 Lassa fever cases. Those are the newspapers we have this morning. I'll go on a short break. When I return, I'll have my guest and we'll discuss some of the issues on these papers. Please stay with us. Welcome back. I have my guest, Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik, with me. Good morning, sir. Welcome on the program.
Yeah, good morning, Gift. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's talk about the ongoing PDP crisis. It's been going on for a long time, and we've basically been saying the same thing every single time that it comes up in the papers. Today in the papers, the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has said he cannot force the chairman of the party to resign, and this is coming as a result of Wike's camp, his loyalists actually, pulling out of the Atiku campaign. What are your thoughts on this? Does this mean that is this like going to result in them leaving the party completely, or going to be loyal to other parties while remaining in the party? What are your thoughts on
Yeah, it's obvious that they will remain within the party because they won't leave. Leaving at this particular time, it will be kind of a suicidal for them. And to some extent, since they are operating as a group, they can still decide to just abandon PDP and go to any other party and still go as a group, because when they go as a group, they will now have an interest whereby and negotiate what will come to them as a group. But I don't see that. I don't see them doing that, because if you look at somebody like Olabode George, he has been one of the founding members of the PDP, and I don't see him at this particular time to say, okay, he's going to join another party. Though some of them, they will still remain within PDP and do anti-party, and exactly that is what I foresee. But the question is this: what if Atiku had picked Wike as his running mate? Would he still be clamoring for Ayu's removal? I don't think so. He won't do that. All this pointing at Ayu to go, this, that, to me, he's not aiming at Ayu. He's looking for complete downfall of Atiku at the presidential election, because he failed. Atiku now defeated him and he refused to pick him. So it's like he has a vendetta mission against Atiku. So to me, they should just continue on their part. If they want to leave the party, they should leave. If they want to stay within the party, they should stay. But I believe that Atiku is not like a baby politician whereby he will just trust them. I believe that including them in his campaign council, he only did that to fulfill all the righteousness to say, okay, let me just have them. At the end of the day, let them decide on their own. And they have already done that. Election is not a do or die thing. Whether we like it or not, that 2023 election will come and it will go. A winner will emerge. Either Atiku will win or he is beaten. that I don't see him, although he will be disturbed because he has been nurturing this ambition for a very long time, and this seems as if the only last opportunity that he has. But look at the way everything just going down the drain. But at the end of the day, both Wike camp, both Atiku, all of them, there will be bad losers.
Do you foresee other parties taking advantage of this fight in the PDP? I mean, the house is not in order, and this basically means there's no structure, as a lot of people have said. Things are not moving as they should, and then the crisis has been going on for a long time. Do you see this whole crisis thing sabotaging the chances of the PDP getting into power generally in the 2020 elections?
Already, that has already been the foundation for that. Foundation for their failure has already been laid. Right from that moment that they could not have a mechanism, a crisis mechanism, post primary election mechanism to resolve their problem amicably. Right from that very moment, they have weakened the party, and it only take the grace of God, miracle, for them to like fight the ruling party and another opposition, another strong opposition in the person of Peter Obi. I don't see them, but in politics, you can never say it until the D-Day, until after the election. Even a day to the election, anything can happen. Although I don't see them leaving PDP, but we should tell ourselves the truth that oneness is no longer there. And in politics, any opportunity you provide for your opponent, he will catches on it and use it against you, and that is exactly, just like you said now, that is exactly what the other parties will do. The other parties, people assume that PDP, being the major opposition party, will now give APC the political battle of their life. But I don't see that coming very soon, unless we see a major, unless we see a kind of a networking to bridge the gap among themselves, to say, okay, let's harmonize our differences, let's work together because of the party. Otherwise, I don't see them. It's coming out of this battle.
Okay. The issue between the ASU and the federal government, recall that the court had ruled that the ASU should call off the strike, and then basically teachers should resume back in the classrooms. We see ASU saying that they are going to appeal because they are not comfortable basically with the judgment, basically because they've not gotten what they want. Do you think that is reasonable? Because the strike has been going on for 7 months. I mean, students have been at home, and even parents are agitating for the strike to be called off. Do you think it is right that ASU is deciding to appeal in court rather than just going with the court ruling and then going back to the classrooms?
Well, appeal is just everybody's right. That look, in any judgment or any court judgment, you have the right to appeal. So we should just give them that benefit of doubt. That look, they have the right to appeal. Then, well, by common sense and what ordinary persons on the street will now say that look, this student, they have been at home for 7 months, and why dragging it again? Well, it's nobody at this very particular moment. We don't know the details of the court judgment. Whether is it a situation whereby also you just say, okay, go back to the classroom. What about the conditions, that the condition, the agreement, and some other things that they were on the table before the judgment? Are we saying that the court has ordered the government to say, okay, they must comply to their obligations to them? So
I don't know if you recall, but there was a time that the government they allegedly said they have settled ASU, and then they've tried their best. Basically, they've tried their best. They've tried to meet the demands to the best of their ability, but ASU is still remaining adamant.
Well, I think on the last count, the main gray area that is causing problem between them and federal government has been the aspect of payment of the back of the arrears during the duration of the strike. Government said, look, that they are implementing the policy on no work, no pay. And that's what he's saying, that look, no, that's our job is not like that of medical doctors, whereby if the life is lost, that life cannot be recalled back again. That certainly they will still meet up with the curriculum that is on ground. So I believe that if the judgment had ordered the government to say, look, pay ASU their money, I don't think that ASU will now have cause to say, okay, they are going to appeal. You understand? So, to me, ASU should just have a kind of a rethink, because this thing is not going to be like a situation whereby a win-win situation. No, it should be on the basis of win-win situation. It shouldn't be on a one-sided judgment whereby to say, okay, ASU go back to the class, and on what term are they going to back to class?
Have not been
you understand me? So it means that like that we are prolonging this particular problem again to another time, whereby ASU will decide to like go embark on another industrial action, and probably that time again and now decide to stay for a good 1 year without going back to the class. To me, you recall that on this particular platform we said that, look, government dragging ASU before court is not the best option, because court can decide on the judgment and say, okay, against ASU. It means it will open another gateway to say, okay, to prolong the problem, which is not the best solution. The best solution is still amicable resolution on the table. They should discuss this on the table. If the government doesn't have the capacity to say, okay, we are not going to pay you for the 7-month arrears, at least they should devise a mechanism, a kind of a payment model to say, okay, we are going to pay you, but this is how much we are going to pay now. Pending to some other time, we will not pay the remaining balance.
So the president spoke at the UN General Assembly, and then he has promised credible 2023 polls, and something that caught my attention was that the president actually suggested that some of the debts that the country has taken should be waived. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's going to be like it was a historical speech, because this will be his last as a president of Nigeria, and he will never have that opportunity again to speak at the United Nations General Assembly on that platform again. So this is last. Well, the issue regarding a call for cancellation of our debt, to me, is laughable, because you can't be borrowing and be asking
you expect to pay back.
You understand? You are borrowing to pay back, and then you are begging them to say that they should forgive you. Don't forget that, look, when Obasanjo came, Obasanjo begged for debt cancellation and debt forgiveness, of which about $18 billion was forgiven. You understand? Now, between that time and now again, another trillions have been piled up, trillions naira have been piled up in the name of it. You understand? So I don't think the Western nation or all the creditors, they are not fools to say, okay, they will forgive us. A situation whereby they are seeing what is happening in Nigeria, oil theft is there, they are seeing high level of corruption everywhere and there, and you are saying they should forgive you. Forgive you for what? When you are asking for forgiveness, it's a situation whereby you don't have that capacity to pay. But in this regard, we have the capacity, we have the resources, we have everything that it takes. And let's not forget that, look, the whole global economy is passing through a kind of a little shock, whereby those people that are asking them to forgive, to debt cancellation, them too, they are passing through some level of economic recession, and they're asking them to forgive. Are they going to forgive you in that regard? It's really sad. Instead of us to look inward to say, okay, diversify our economy, we have been talking about this diversification of the economy right from the year 2000 up till now. We are still talking about that, and nothing tangible was done on it. Our economy still rely, our revenue still rely on oil. And we see agriculture, nothing has been done about the agriculture. Even something has been done. Talk about the insecurity that is stopping people from going to their farm. And even up to now, as we are talking about, we are still talking about the local ways of farming, not mechanized farming. So there is no any investment in that regard, and we are talking about debt cancellation. These people that will not forgive or cancel our debt this time around, we must pay. We must prepare to pay that debt.
Let's see how that goes. He also promised credible polls at the 2023 next year's elections. Basically, do you think that is feasible? That is something that the president can achieve, seeing the history of insecurity in Nigeria lately?
Well, we should give the president, Mr. President, credit. At least to some extent, he has been able to lay the foundation to a credible election in 2023 by assenting his signature to the 2022 amended Electoral Act. That is the first phase. And the second phase now is the electioneering campaign itself. When politicians decide to embark on this electioneering campaign, what is expected of the government is to provide the security enabling environment whereby the campaign will go on hitch-free, will record a hitch-free campaign. Then we'll talk about the election itself. The election day, it shouldn't be a situation whereby the security forces will be used against politicians or be used against the opponent. We don't want to see that. I believe that that is the process that the President Muhammad Buhari is promising the international world to say, look, he's going to ensure a credible election. Then the election result itself, will INEC be neutral? INEC should be neutral. Although you see the kind of electoral system, the presidential system of government will practice here, government can decide to intervene and pressurize INEC. Now, nobody can do anything except in the international community to decide to say, okay, you are giving us our word, your word that, look, you are going to ensure this, you should comply to it. If you observe very well, in 2015, President Muhammad Buhari succeeded President Goodluck Jonathan because of the pressure from the international community. And then we discovered that Jonathan, even before the final result was announced, he accepted the defeat and put a call across to Buhari, General Buhari, to congratulate him, and he solved a lot of major problems. The international community takes Nigeria seriously because you observe we are a nation of over 200 million. That 200 million, and if you observe very well, most Nigeria, even at the time of peace, you discover that if you go to the embassies, so much pressure on Nigerians that want to go to the Western world, and you discover that in a situation whereby we have crisis, certainly a lot of population will now try to move over there, and that is why you now discover that the Western world, they will not like anything to happen to Nigeria, especially when it comes to an election period like this.
That's the program. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining me, Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik. My name is Double Gifts. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Aspheric TV on YouTube, and also follow us on all of our social media platforms. On Instagram and Twitter, we are Aspheric News, and on Facebook, we are official Aspheric News. Thanks for watching. Bye.